Hi guys and welcome back. This video in particular is now going to be focusing on the unit circle in regards to sine. So there will be another video for cosine, but this is just focusing on the values for sine, and we're going to be specifically looking at angles of 0, 30, 60 and 90. And these are kind of our important ones. So in this video we're going to actually use the unit circle to be able to kind of guess what those values are going to be. Alright, so as a refresher from the unit circle, we can create a triangle in our unit circle. So I'm going to quickly make one up now. So depending on how big your angle is, your triangle is going to change. So this is about, so if this is 45, maybe this is about 30. If you had a triangle that was like this, obviously that's slightly different. Your angle is going to be so much bigger. So it might be, for example, sine 70 or something like that. And then we're going to use these angles in particular, so that's how we're going to create our triangles, and we're going to take a guess. Okay, so the first one here is sine 0. Let's have a think for a second. Sine 0, that means that theta is equal to 0. If this, let's say that triangle, that theta is probably like 5. 0 means it's not even going to create a triangle. If you really think about it, it's kind of like a straight line. Like this is 0 degrees. This is maybe 10 degrees, 15, 20, blah, blah, blah. Sine 0 doesn't create anything. It doesn't even make a triangle. So sine 0 is actually equal to 0. So if you check in your calculator, put sine 0 in, it's going to come up with 0 because it doesn't even create a triangle. And remember that when we're looking at sine, we found that sine theta is equal to b, or how tall our triangle is going to be. I'm going to put a little reminder here. I'll put that on the side here. So let's say this height is b. Okay, so let's try sine 30 now. So let's create a triangle that's about 30 degrees. So if we said that was 45, okay, so let's do something a little bit less. Let's do like that. Okay, I'm going to remove that line there. So this is our sine 30. So when theta is equal to 30 degrees. In that maroon color, it reminds us that when we want to find the value for a sine, we look at our y-axis. So I'm going to quickly draw a line here. I'm going to draw in blue whereabouts that line kind of lines up. Okay, so based on where that blue line hits the y-axis, so this point here, we're going to take an assumption of whereabouts, what the value for sine 30 is going to be. So sine 30, as I look on it, remember that this is equal to 0, 1. So these values all vary from 0. This is about 0.5 to 1. So the range in values, think of it like a number line. This lies about halfway between 0 and 1 on our line. Okay, so it's halfway between here and here. So we can say that it's about 0.5. And when you type it into your calculator, you can actually get that value. You type it in and you're going to get half or 0.5. So that's how I get that number. So let's try another one. Let's try sine 60 now. I'm going to erase these little values here. We don't want that. We want to make a new one. So let's try and make, so remember this is about 45. So 60, let's say it's about here-ish. I don't know. I think maybe I should make it a bit clearer perhaps. Maybe I should make it a bit bigger. I'll raise that and do it again. So let's say about there. Okay, let's do that. So let's say that that's 60 degrees here. Okay, so remember I'm going to get my blue out again, and we're going to line it up to our y-axis. So I'm going to put that, is that lined up? Okay, it's about there. So we're going to measure that point on our line. So again, remember this is about 0.5. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So maybe we could say it's about 0.8-ish, or maybe a bit higher than 0.8. Yeah, so we can make an assumption. I'm going to say it's about 0.82. Let's put it into our calculator. So if you type it in, you're going to get actually a value. I'm going to maybe write that color in red. Your value is actually 0.86602544038. Whew, long number. But you can see that it's kind of similar. Like we weren't exact, but we're close. I mean, if I had a better unit circle with actually all the increments, maybe it'll be a bit easier for us to define. But yeah, it's about there, right? So I'm going to erase that huge number. That's scary. Let's not look at that. Alright, so let's try do our sine 90. That's our final one for this video here. So let's see if I can draw sine 90. Now, let's look again. So remember, a right angle is always perpendicular to the x-axis or our straight line. That means, right, let's have a think. It's going to line about there, isn't it? It's not really going to create a triangle. This, because it's saying that that angle, this part here has to be equal to 90. So if we had a sine 30, that was this angle here. Sine 90 is going to mean that this corner angle is equal to 90. And okay, so now we've done that. It doesn't really create a triangle. So similar to sine 0, it doesn't create a triangle, but it lines up. So we found that sine theta is equal to b, so our height. If it's straight up and down, what's the height of that line? The height is 1. So sine 90 is equal to 1, and we can check that on our calculator, sine 90, and would you believe it, it comes up as 1. So there we go. Pretty simple idea. I'm going to show you cosine as well, so it's just slightly different but the same idea. So if you're interested in seeing that, just check out the next video.